this silly conversation America is having over race really epitomized when Congressman Jamal Bowman showed up on CNN and questioned, well, he called Joe Manchin a racist for objecting to Build Back Better. I want to play you it because there's an interesting moment from about 15 years ago involving Kanye West. This reminds me of. I think you'll like it. First, this is Congressman Jamal Bowman.
Once again, it's an example of Joe Manchin as a white man showing that he doesn't care about black people. He doesn't care about Latinos. He doesn't care about immigrants. He doesn't care about women. And he doesn't care about the poor. The same way black and brown people and women were kept out of the New Deal, Joe Manchin's trying to keep people out of this bill today. And it's unacceptable. And we need to do everything in our power to make sure it passes.
It's about the worst thing you can call somebody a racist, and since they're calling everybody a racist, actually, it's not that serious anymore. This is ridiculous speech. This is a ridiculous thing to say, but the way they treated him after he said it, yes, tell us more, Congressman. They even invited them back the next day. Do you care to elaborate on your thoughts, Congressman? Yes, indeed. Oh, yes, fascinating, Congressman. Well, in 2005 or 6, I think it was, in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, they had a big telethon for those affected by Katrina. There's Kanye West and Mike Myers, a great big telethon. Listen to what Kanye has to say about President Bush. And I'm sorry, I think this is all the way back. Yeah, 2005. Take a look.
The way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, this is Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And everybody freaked out. They went to a commercial break. There was a national conversation about what he said. George Bush was horrified, understandably so, and so many really across the media spectrum, liberals were saying, Kanye, cool it. What the heck is wrong with you? But what a difference, huh? What is it, 15, 16 years later? That was completely outrageous. Shut it down, out of bounds. You can't say that. Ridiculous. And now today, yes, Congressman Bowman. Tell us more, Congressman Bowman. Just a very strange moment this country is having. It's the eve of Christmas Eve. And I was, well, think about this. Imagine if you worked for a company and you were mid-management or maybe a junior employee, assembly line, who knows, somewhere in that company. You never met the CEO, but somebody came up to you someday and they told you that the CEO knows exactly who you are. You're like, really? Yep. And they know everything about you. Really? Yep. Everything you've ever done. Really? Yep. And the CEO loves you. Really? They want to have lunch with you. Yeah. Dinner. They want to do everything for you. They want to promote you. They want to be close to you. They want to talk to you. They want it all for you. What's the catch? There's no catch. Actually, it's much better than what I just described. It's not the boss of the company. It's the boss of the universe. It's God and his son, Jesus. That's what he wants. It's available to each and every one of us. It's funny. If the boss wants us to do something, our world boss, we drop everything. We make it happen. But the boss of the universe, it's got to be done on our terms. That was my approach for a long, long time. I think it was 2012 or 2013. A nice person gave me a Bible. It was the Charles Stanley Life Principles Bible. And you know what my reaction was when they gave me this precious gift? When did you become such a church lady? I don't need this. What are you talking about? I was actually offended by it. A Bible? What are you telling me about my life? I know what's going on. And I put it on the shelf. And it stayed there for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years. Out of curiosity one day, I don't know enough about it, started going through it, and everything started to change. I mean, everything. And when you start talking to the master of the universe, you want to do everything you can to please the master of the universe. And all of those rules that turn me off, all the things that I want to have a good time, that's not, no. Those rules are actually to maximize our joy, maximize our happiness, and protect us, I am fairly new in my faith journey, but I highly recommend it. I really do. I'm not a minister. I'm not a preacher. I'm not trained in any of this. I'm just reading the Bible, and it's been very, very exciting. And if you're in a position in your life where you haven't opened the book, oh, and by the way, one thing about the Charles Stanley Life Principles Bible, it's a traditional Bible, but it has little notes and footnotes and essays that help break down some of the language that can be rather complicated at times and a little bit mysterious. A lot of folks say, I shouldn't talk like this, and I understand. And a lot of folks who believe don't want to talk like this because, well, we might offend somebody. Oh, maybe somebody out there knows something about me, and oh, what a hypocrite. And look, there are a million reasons to not talk like this. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know there's really no debate. So I encourage you. I think we should encourage each other. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're almost there. By the way, I have a special wish for Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden, well, one thing he said he would do, unify this country. Clearly, that hasn't happened. He hasn't tried. Now, I've noticed he's bragged a bit about his faith. He's bragged about how well he knows the Pope. He brags about going to church. But beyond that, I haven't seen too much. Quite frankly, that would be of value to believers in this country. My wish for Joe is that he get closer to God and his entire family. And I have one more wish. Joe, you talked about uniting this country. Mr. President, here's a suggestion. We're all off. We're all going to be doing our own thing for the next couple of weeks, 10 days or so. Wouldn't it be amazing if you visited those prisoners in Washington, D.C., held over January 6th? I know you have, obviously, your differences with these folks, and they have their differences with you. But I think that would go a very long way in unifying this country, in lowering the temperature. You might annoy your base, but with all due respect, sir, you don't need them. And quite frankly, let's face it, you're going to be a one-term president. I say that respectfully. There's no way. There's just no way. You know that. Everybody knows that. So what do you say, huh? I wish you the very, very best. Good luck, sir. I hope you live up to your promises to this country and maybe even to yourself. We'll be right back.